Greetings, Afterlifers, and welcome to episode 3 of the Afterlife Talks podcast. I'm your Devilish Tiefling host of the Afterlife nightclub, NyyxVeil, and an autistic non-binary pan VTuber that plays horror variety over on Twitch and YouTube. And today we're going to be talking about Mouthwashing. I wish I had a trailer for it. There is a trailer actually playing right in front of me, but it's so hard to describe what this game is, because the game starts off as any old other game, and basically you get trapped in space after your cargo ship, the Tuplar, crashes into an asteroid, and you have to figure out how to get off the ship. And over the course of the game, you begin to know more of the story of the crew of the Tuplar, what is Pony Express. And then the game really takes an interesting, turn, a sort of Dead Space meets Event Horizon turn. There's no marker or necromorphs you have to fight. It's really more of space madness. And while these characters aren't voice acted, like these characters are, I would like to say typecast, because you have the brute, you have the cool chill dude under pressure, the hopeless doctor, the captain who's either incapacitated or who's gone mad, and then you have that one crew member that's firm and like, yeah, we're gonna make it out of here. And again, this game is trippy. Like, I understand why people call this an experience, because it is an experience. Not sure if it's worth $13 worth. Because ultimately, once you beat the game, there's really no alternate endings or bonuses. They're just achievements, and that's it. If you're an achievement hunter, then by all means go back through it. There's no fighting really. There's some puzzles. There is a very interesting stealth section where you're required to move slowly and rely on sound to pick up where this entity is coming from. And then of course later on there's a section where you're in the vents, and if I remember correctly, the vents section was a lot longer, but I think people complained about it because once you get caught, you reset at the very start of the vent maze, and that was just so infuriating, so infuriating. But again, like, it's such a weird experience, because I want to recommend it, but I just don't recommend it at $13, because you can literally get it done in one sitting. Um, and by the time the credits start rolling, you just look at the price tag and everything you encountered, and you're like, wait, what? That's worth $13? It's not a daymare situation by all means. No, it's not a daymare situation by all means, but the game requires you have to basically appreciate the art that the team, the wrong organ team did for this game. If you can't appreciate the art, that the time that was put into this simplistic, straightforward horror game, with some lore and backstory and whatnot, then yeah, no, you're gonna actually, yeah, I would recommend, waiting for sale, because I think that's how I got Mouthwashing. I got Mouthwashing on sale. And and as I mentioned, there's no alternate endings. It's not Massacre of the Mirage, where you can there's like this free mode after. Nope. Once you're done, you are done. But yeah, I give it like an 8 out of 10. I recommend it. Maybe a 7. 7 or 8 out of 10. I would say it's an 8 out of 10 if you really appreciate what they were going for. But if you don't appreciate it, then it's like a 7 out of 10 flat. And the only way it would be like a lower score is if is if I guess the arbitrarily like walking around, like why are we walking around so much, was more tedious. It was just a right enough walking around where I'm like, okay, this is not too tedious, but it was just a little bit longer in the hallway corridors and just the confusion, like getting around the ship was more confusing or whatever, then I would have a problem with it. But yeah, 7 out of 10. I give it a 7 out of 10. If you enjoy this podcast episode of Mouthwashing, this podcast episode, the Afterlife Talks podcast episode for Mouthwashing and the game review for Mouthwashing. I don't know, and yeah. The reason why, the reason why I'm saying Mouthwashing so much is that you're going to get to a certain point in the game where you're going to look at everything and go, that's why it's called? Yeah, basically. And you're either going to love it or hate it going forward after that. But anyways, I'm rambling, and rambling's bad for me. So, if you enjoyed this episode of the podcast, give it a like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you're listening on Spotify, then give the episode a like and share the podcast with your friends and all the peeps. And I will catch you all next time. Bye-bye.